Good morning. It's now 6:30 in the morning of Saturday the 2nd of June. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. It was only been about 4 days since I was here last because I was doing a video on Bank Holiday Monday last week. So not a huge amount changed, but there has been a bit, so I'll show you what's going on now. Okay, these two beds last week were just virtually ready to have the topsoil put on, which is now on, and have the pumpkins and squashes planted out. Probably far too many for the beds. This bed has got 3 pumpkins and a butternut squash and 2 courgettes in it. So overall we've got quite a bit of stuff in here. One thing I am trying this year I've never tried before is, as you can see, next to the actual plant itself, I'm sinking the pot it was in by the side of it. The theory being that if I pour water down there, the water will get to the roots rather than the top. I'll have some deeper rooted and stronger plants. That's the theory anyway. That's the butternut squash there. All the rest are fairly small plants. And then at the back I've got 2 pumpkins, one at either end, and 4 courgettes, 2 on each side. Again, probably too many for the bed itself, I realise that, but I've got to put them somewhere. Square foot gardening bed is getting absolutely fantastically good at the moment. Last week when you looked, these things were hardly showing, and now look. The red vein sorrel is going to seed, so that's going to have to be cut right back, and it's also started taking over the remaining, the surrounding plots rather. Got pak choy, got some, what is that one? That's beetroot. Oh, I didn't look like beetroot, never mind. And choice some more beetroot over there, lots of lettuce. The big block there is rocket, mizuna, beet turnips, carrots, lots of carrots, absolutely fantastically. The good thing about this side is that it will allow you to plant different crops in close proximity to each other. One failure, that square right in the middle there, next to the rocket, had little gem in and not coming up at all, so I'm going to re-sow those. It's just something not happening. Anyway, such is life. This bed was going to get cleared out and it's just become a dumping ground. As you can see, I put everything on top of it. Weeds in there all need to be dug out. I'm going to put manure in there and then get it ready for planting up. Not sure what's going in here this year. It had brassicas last year, so I don't really want to put brassicas in again. I have got some spare brassicas, so I don't know what to do. Not sure whether to do it or not. I think I should be okay for 2 years running, but I wouldn't want to do it 3. I just have to wait and see. I do have one more bed, but I'm not sure what to do with that one. This one here, this has got onions, carrots and garlic in. As you can see, the carrots are doing absolutely fantastic. We had thunderstorms here last night, a bit of a torrential downpour, which looks like they're doing wonders for this lot. They're all standing up straight, doing really, really well. They'll need thinning out very soon, I'm sure. And then at the back there, that's what happens if you don't weed an area. That bit at the back is just solid weeds, but it will come out very easily. Hopefully not too long now. I've got something in the middle there which looks like an oriental mustard. I wasn't sure what it was last time. I thought it might have been a red cabbage. Definitely not red cabbage. So I'll have a little taste. If it's mustard, I'll harvest it and eat it. If it's not, I just throw it away. And then this back bit of the bed will be used for something else. What else can I show you very quickly? Oh yeah, all the strawberries are doing fantastically well. I mean, let's look at that for a strawberry patch. Absolutely fantastic. Lots of strawberries coming on them, and a few weeds in the middle of it, but not as many as there would be rather if I had got this plastic down underneath them, the woven fabric. So they're doing really well. Oh yeah, the pond. The problem with the good weather and good soil and everything around here is that the pond is full of nitrites. And as you can see, it's absolutely green as anything. There's lots of newts in there. I can see a couple of them on the top at the moment. But the problem is, it's thick with green. So, I've decided I'm going to do something about it this year. And I have bought myself this stuff, Eco Pond. Apparently it puts 10 mils of this for every 250 litres in there. Now I've worked it out that I reckon in there's probably about 360 litres. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to treat it as if it's 500 and put 10 mils of 20 mils of this stuff in, pour it over, and then we'll see next week how it's doing. It does say for some instances you may need a second treatment after 5 days, I think this is bad enough to need a second treatment. So we will see. We'll see how we do. But I'll come back and show you. One other thing I've got to do this week is finish off the patio area over there. This area is never going to get grown in because when they dug the drainage channels for the allotment 18 months ago now, they dug straight to the corner of my plot. So this corner here has got drainage underneath it. So I'm just going to put some flagstones down on top of bark chippings, rough and ready, and having it as a barbecue area, as you can see. And it works wonderfully. My fruit hedge on this side needs trimming back, but because I'm not really using this area at the moment, what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to leave it for now, harvest the berries off it, then trim it right back, plug any gaps like this one with new plants, and take it from there. And the whole thing is going to run all the way down there to this chicken shed. At the moment it goes about halfway to the end of where the old polytunnel was. But, that's about it. Right, now when I showed you last week, this was absolutely full of flowers. It's now full of little blackberries. And they are little blackberries, to be honest. They don't do huge ones, but look how many they're going to be. All I've got to hope now is this year I get to them before the birds do. Because last year the birds beat me to it. Right, let's go past here. Nothing showing on the main crop potatoes, but they were only put in a week ago and they are a good foot down in there, so I'm not surprised. However, the first earlies that were about 6 inches tall last time, they're now 2 foot tall nearly. Look at the state of that. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Absolutely loving it. The brassicas underneath the netting doing quite well. There's one of them being now nibbled on this side, I think it was, which may have gone completely. In fact, it has gone completely. But it's one of the calabrese. It happens, one of those things, isn't it? They've now got slug pellets under there, which they didn't have before. So hopefully that will stop any more again from being taken. Sweet corn doing well. They keep getting bashed by the wind. I mean, there's one over there lying down. Keep on to stand them up, but they get hammered a little bit. This side's doing much better. And I'll show you quickly inside the greenhouse before we finish for today. Right, inside the greenhouse. These are the brassicas which are ready for going out. So there's 2 lots of cabbage and 1 lot of kohlrabi which need to go. I've got a courgette at the back there which isn't quite ready for going yet. So one at the front has it showing. Give it a chance, you never know, it might do. And lots of tomato plants at the back, some chillies at the front. The only problem I'm going to have with those is I don't have enough space. I've also got to clear out all of this rubbish. It's just stuff that's built up over the time, it's just a pile of rubbish. I've got to go through it all, take it all out when the weather's a bit brighter, and decide what I'm going to do with it all. Clear what I don't want. I've got to, you can't see under here, but the floor does dip considerably down there. There's a great big dip down there. So I'm going to fill that with stone, up to the level of the flagstones which I've got around the edge, and then I can balance my pots on there for my tomatoes and my chillies this year, get them in big pots. Because at the moment they're being held back by being in these small pots, but I've got nowhere else to put them. So, plan for the weekend is going to be sorting out the pond, which I'm going to do this morning, sorting out one of the beds ready to put these brassicas in, whichever it's going to be, and get them out there and get them in the ground. Herb bed finished off, which is down by the side of the pond, and then get this greenhouse finished off and get the chillies out, so, and tomatoes. A lot to do. Oh yeah, one other thing to show you. These were my parsnips, and as you can see, lots of greenery in there, but I don't think a single one of them is a parsnip. But parsnips take a long time to germinate, I know that. So we'll wait and see. And I've also got some pink fir apple potatoes to go in bags when I get around to doing it. That's something else I'm going to do this weekend. Got a lot to do. So with that, it's a little bit overcast this morning compared to the last few videos I've had. We've had lovely blue skies, but it's warm. It's about 14 degrees, even though it's overcast. So, for a very, very green and verdant allotment, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Hi there, welcome back. Just a very, very quick update to add on to this morning's video. I've cleared out the greenhouse, and this is all the stuff that was in there that is rubbish. Well, it's not rubbish, to be honest. It's stuff I want, it's stuff I need. The only thing that's going is that bag in that basket. Everything else I've got to find home for. I've got chairs, I've got solar panels, I've got pots which are going to have to go in the greenhouse. Table's going to go back in, the glove's going to go back in, trays, everything. I'll just show you how much room I've got now in here. Look at that. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do, this bit in the centre, which you can now see, needs filling up with stone. So I'll probably 3-4 bags of stone will do that. Little bits of stone, just fill it all in so it's all level. And then I can put plant pots on and around the edges and in the middle as well. Whereas last year you can see I was balancing them on pieces of wood at the back to keep them level. They could fit on this outside side, the right hand side, no problems once that piece of wood was moved. But at the back there's only about 2 inches, so they weren't fitting there. Put some gravel down, or some stone rather, that should do it. So hopefully next time you come back I'll have some of these tomatoes potted up in big pots and down the side there. And all of this rubbish, well, I've found a new home for it. Anyway, that was enough, just a very quick update. Bye bye.